Hello, children. Topic for today is the best Christmas present in the world. Everyone likes to get presents. What kind of presents do you like to get? Presents mean gift. Present also means the current moment. So, it is rightly said that the present is the best present given by God to us. Anyway, pause the video for the moment and write down what kind of presents do you like. Well, let's move on. There are some dates or periods of time in the history of the world that are so significant, so important that everyone knows and remembers them. The story you will read mentions one such date and event, that is, a war between British and Germans in 1914. Can you guess which war it was? Yes, it was First World War. Yes, moving on. Now see the dates and the explanation what happened on these dates, why they are significant, why they are important to us. 4th July 1776. Yes, what happened on that day? American Declaration of Independence. 17 December 1903. Wilbur and Orville made the first flight, remaining in the air for 12 seconds and covering 120 feet. 6 August 1945. I think all of you must remember this. Hiroshima Day, an atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima in Japan on this day. 30th January is assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. 12 April 1961, Yuri Gagarin became the first human to orbit the Earth. 20 July 1969. What happened on that day? Yes, Neil Armstrong became the first man to set foot on the moon. Now let us read the story The Best Christmas Present in the World, which is written by Michael Morpurgo, an eminent writer. He was born on 5th of October 1943. Before the Second World War got over. That means he was witness to Second World War. He is English book author, poet, playwright, the one who writes plays, and who is known best for children's novels such as War Horse. His work is noted for its magical storytelling. He is a good storyteller as well. He became the third Children Nobel laureate from 2003 to 2005. Okay, let's continue. I spotted it in a junk shop in Bridport, a roll-top desk. Who is I here? The narrator. The narrator spotted it. Spotted what? A roll-top desk. He went to a junk shop in Bridport. Bridport is a place. He went to Bridport in a junk shop, waste shop, to buy a roll-top desk. The man said it was early 19th century and oak, means the build of the roll-top desk was way back to 19th century, means the table was not new and the wood was of oak. I had wanted one, but they were far too expensive. Good wooden tables are expensive, so he thought of buying an older one. This one was in a bad condition, a roll top in several pieces, one leg clumsily mended. Clumsily mended means not in a proper condition. Scratch marks all down one side, means burnt marks could be seen everywhere on the table. It was going for very little money. The narrator said that it was going for very little money, means I could buy it in a cheap rate. I thought I could restore it. The narrator thought that he could mend it, he could restore it, bring it back to original position, repair it. It would be a risk, a challenge, but I had to have it. I wanted to buy a roll top desk. So what did I do? I bought it. I paid the man and brought it back to my workroom at the back of the garage. I began work on it on Christmas Eve. I started working on it on Christmas Eve. When does Christmas Eve occur? Yes, it's 25th of December. Christmas Eve, basically it's month of December last week to January first week. I removed the roll top completely and pulled out the drawers. I removed the tabletop completely and pulled out the drawers, took out the drawers from it. The veneer had lifted almost everywhere. Veneer means the thin layer of plastic or decorative wood. Means the lacquer was coming out of the wood as it was not a new one. So everywhere he could see that the table was not in a good condition and he had to mend it seriously. It looked like water damage to me. On one side, he saw that there were burnt marks. On the other side, he saw that water damage was done to it. Both fire and water had clearly taken its toll. Taken their toll means taken their toll means damaged, destroyed the desk. The last drawer was stuck fast. But when I tried to open all the drawers, I couldn't open the last drawer as it was stuck fast. I tried all I could to ease it out gently. I tried so that I could take it out gently, easily. In the end, I had to use brute force. Brute force means I had to pull it tightly. I struck it sharply with the side my fist and drawer flew open to reveal a shallow space underneath. There was a secret drawer in a drawer, means a drawer within a drawer. There was a secret drawer. There was something in there. I reached in and took out a small black tin box. Sellotaped on to the top of it was piece of lined note paper. What did I see? I saw a lined note paper and written on it in a shaky handwriting. Shaky handwriting means not clear. With shaking hands, shivering hands. Jim's last letter received January 25, 1915. Means Second World War had started. To be buried with me when the time comes. Who has written on the letter? Somebody has written on the letter that Jim's last letter. I knew as I did if it that it was wrong of me to open the box. It has not to be opened. Why? Because it was secret drawer and somebody's private letter is there. Should we open the private letter? No, as in case of general, we shouldn't open. But now he has bought the drawer, so now the drawer is his. So curiosity got the better of his scruples, means although he was hesitating to open the letter, but he was curious to know what was there inside. So finally, he opened the drawer and took out the envelope. Inside the box, there was an envelope. The address read Mrs. Jim Macpherson, 12 Copper Beeches, Bridport, Dorset. I took out the letter and unfolded it. Now, who has it on the top of the letter? On the top of envelope? Yes. Mrs. Jim Macpherson must be wife of Mr. Jim Macpherson. And hear what he wrote. Dearest Connie, I write to you in a much happier frame of mind because something wonderful has just happened. that I must tell you about at once. Now, here you can see that Jim McPherson wanted to share something interesting with his wife. What was that? We were all standing to in our trenches yesterday morning. We were all taking up our positions long deep ditches in the ground where the soldiers hid themselves from the enemy. As beautiful a morning as I have ever seen, as cold and frosty as a Christmas morning could be. I should like to be able to tell you that we began it, but the truth is that I'm ashamed to say that Fritz began it. Who was Fritz? Fritz was common name for German soldier. First someone saw a white flag waving from the trenches opposite. Then they were calling out to us from across no man's land. Happy Christmas, Tommy. Tommy, who was that? The common name for English soldiers. That means there were two enemies that was opposed. That means English, British enemy, British soldiers, and on the other side, German soldiers. And the World War of 1914. Happy Christmas. When we had got over the surprise, some of us shouted back, Same to you, Fritz, same to you. I thought that would be okay. We all did, but then suddenly one of them was up there in his grey greatcoat and waving a white flag. Somebody was waving a white flag, that means showing peace. Don't shoot, lads, don't shoot, boys, someone shouted, and no one did. Then there was another Fritz up on the parapet, and another, Keep your heads down. I told the men, It's a trick, but it wasn't. I thought it must be a trap that German soldiers were trying to show us, but I was wrong to say that was something else. They were showing us the peace. To be continued to the next video.